go. Finally. All right. No, I don't want them in the fire pit. Just keep relocating them, and if they get too crazy, just put them back in their little house. Okay. Let me make sure everything's on. We're good. All right. So starting this morning in a reclined position. You can find a reclined position with something that is supporting you underneath the shoulder blades and the head, like these blocks. And that block in the middle goes right in between the shoulder blades, so that you have the whole shoulder blade supported. And then the other block under the head, but you could just as easily use a bolster or cushion to lie back on, just so you have a little bit of lift in the chest, starting in a supported back bend. So make sure that, especially if you're using blocks, that you play around a little bit and adjust, and make sure that it's not cutting in too low under the ribs. You have enough support, but that it's also not up by your neck, because that doesn't feel comfortable. And for the most gentle position, the soles of the feet would be on the floor with the knees pointing up to the sky. But if you want to get some hip stretch in, first thing, and you bring the soles of the feet together, the knees drop open to the side for Supta Baddha Konasana. And once you're there, you just settle yourself into your shape. Just take a moment to observe your surroundings. And use your senses. Take in all of the sounds and the scents around you. Feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. And hearing the soft sound that the breath makes as it flows in and out through your nose. Sensation of breath as it gently moves into the body. And as it flows back out. If you happen to find yourself outside this morning, take just a few extra moments to observe the variety of the elements that are around you. We are made up of those elements. They correspond to different organs, different feelings and emotions. So we are very linked to these elements. Earth, giving us that safety and security, grounded. Water, allowing us to be flowing and moving through life with that ease as water flows. So shall we? Water is also part of our emotional body. Fire, you are feeling the sun on your skin. There's a real sensation of the fire, but also they're at your solar plexus, space of fire. It's where we get stuff done. What do you burn for? The air elements, light and free. And then ether, that more mystical, invisible, sweet element moving up towards the heavens. And that element of ether is part of the energy of throat. So starting to create a sound in your throat of Ujjayi breath. On the inhalations, you slightly constrict the muscles Like you're sipping the breath in through a straw as you breathe in through your nose. Sound of the ocean in the throat. As you exhale, continuing that slight contraction of the muscles of the coitus as you take the breath back out, emptying, soft sound of the ocean. Continuing for a few more moments, massaging the space of the throat, the thyroid, the master glands in the body. Also, that sound is soothing, relaxing. Just gentle back bend. The throat is a little bit more open, so really feeling energy flowing in and out through that space. Open space of the heart. By the way, that is the part of the body that is associated with the air element. Heart means free and open. The open space of the solar plexus, element of fire. Space between the pubic bone and the navel, hips, a flowing element of water, emotions, feelings, things that we are passionate about. And then the legs, relaxing, supported by the earth, knees falling towards the ground. Soles of the feet gently pressing together for that continuation of groundedness, element of earth. All of these things in our bodies and our psyche interact with each other. There is no separation as they blend and influence. And what we're looking for is balance in all of these things. Just a few more moments, this Ujjayi breath at the throat, sipping the breath in like you're breathing through a straw. Drink in that sweetness of the air around you. And as you exhale, that same soft ocean sound. Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Soften into your shape. These supported or restorative poses can be held for a longer period of time. Allow yourself to feel supported, open, and free. And begin to slide the arms up and overhead. And if you can, reach for opposite elbows. If you're on blocks, the arms might be suspended a couple inches above the earth. If that feels too intense in the shoulders, just drop back into a goalpost shape, taking the arms out to the side, bend elbow to wherever feels like a sustainable place to open deeper across the pectorals, into the rotators, into the shoulder joint. So you don't want to strain here. Allow that to feel really good wherever you find yourself. See if you can soften the shoulder blades even more into whatever is supporting them. Creates a bit of intensity in the shoulders, so remember to adjust if it feels like too much. And then release if you're holding the elbows, and just take the arms out to straight, backs of the hands on the ground. Again, remember, a bend in the elbows might be necessary. So you don't want to strain, but if the arms are straight, feeling that stretch up the length of the sideways into the armpits. And then slowly begin to bend the elbows if they're straight. Bring the arms down by the sides, let the backs of the hands, backs of the forearms rest on the earth, and just take that time to soften, let go. And while the arms and shoulders are softening, 3 cleansing breaths. Fill yourself all the way up. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. If you want to open the mouth and stick the tongue out, stretch the jaw, go ahead and do that. It feels pretty good. As you inhale, filling yourself with breath. And you exhale, open the mouth, empty, make some noise. One more time, filling up. And emptying out, let it go. If the knees are out to the side, squeeze them together, put the feet on the ground, and bring the hips to that neutral position. Take a couple breaths there. You want to give the body time to readjust in its neutral position. Softening the femurs down towards the hip socket. And now rolling off of your blocks and onto a side. And just curl up in fetal position for a few moments. So you're just softening towards the earth, taking that opposite position for the spine. Stay as long as you need. When you're ready, pressing yourself up. Come on up to hands and knees, and then you can move any props that you have for the moment. Just move those out of the way. And coming onto hands and knees, remember to use a blanket to pad your knees if you feel sensitive. And then moving into some rounds of cat and cow. Drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the chest as you inhale. When you exhale, press into the palms and round. You just move through those 2 positions, following the rhythm of your breath. You're completing the round that you're on and making your way into table position. And start to take that movement side to side. So you're going to look over your right shoulder towards your right hip, and center, and same over the left shoulder and center, just moving back and forth. Complete the round that you're on and come back to center. And now in the center position, you're going to stretch your right leg straight back. And once the right leg is extending back, take some circles through the foot and the ankle. You're just circling around in one direction, loosening up there at the joint. And then do the opposite, circles. Should feel pretty good. You feel that all the way up into the calf and the shin. And then come back to stillness, press through the sole of your foot and really lengthen right out at hips height. Draw the belly in and up. You're going to inhale and find that lengthening back. As you exhale, pull knee to nose. And continue to flow, inhaling, stretching back, and exhaling, pulling in round. Do that one more time. Really activating the back of the leg as you press through the sole of the foot, and then activating abdominals as you pull in and up. And stretching the leg back out. And now you're going to be taking that out to the side. So really strengthen up there at the core. Breathe in as you exhale, sweeping the leg forward. And just swing through. So you're not trying to really muscle this at the hip joint, you're just swinging. And then the muscles on the outer glutes and then the back of the leg as you go back really start to kick up. The more still that you can stay through the rest of your body, the more your core taps in to stabilize. Let's do that 1 or 2 more times. And stretching back, lengthening back, lower the right knee down and take child's pose. So really sweep the arms back so that your wrists can rest, your shoulders can cascade forward. Bringing the arms forward, rising back up to hands and knees, and setting up for the opposite side. And so first stretching back through the left foot, just pressing back, and then start those rotations at the ankle. And go the opposite way. And pressing back through the sole of the foot, activating that back chain of the body, but the belly stays nice and strong as well. Inhale, get long. Exhale, pull in to nose. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, pulling in. And the next time that you sweep back, stay there, lengthening back, breathe in, stay really strong, push the ground away, and as you exhale, sweep forward. So you're swinging through right there at the hip joint. This gets those outer glutes really strong, the ones that wrap around on the side and help to stabilize things. Also, you can start to feel that really heating up in the core.
Tear shape.
One more time. Sweeping back and then lowering knee to the ground. Take the knees together, variation of child's pose, so you can really sweep the arms back, softening shoulders, pull backside shoulder blades, releasing as the forehead meets the ground. Go ahead and bring yourself back up. And now extending back through the right leg, you're going to bend at the knee and point the toe. On your inhalation, lift up. On your exhalation, pull knee to nose, drawing in. So again, you're swinging, really loosening at the joint. And then the muscles that are working to stabilize that get nice and strong, but you want to stay loose at the hip. Just swinging through. And the next time that you come up, stay up, and you have the option to just hold here, or working on balance, reach the left hand back, see if you can catch foot or ankle, gently pressing foot, ankle into left hand. So you're getting a big stretch in the quadricep muscles, right leg, and rotator cuff, left arm, shoulder. Softening, releasing back down, big toes together, knees wide, child's pose. Take your hands over to the right. Option to stack left on top of right, getting side stretch, left side body. Come back to center, take a breath. Walking yourself back up. All right, other side, extending left leg back. pointing at the toe. On your inhalation, lift the leg, lift the chest. On your exhalation, pull in knee to nose and continue to swing through. So I love these mobility poses as we're thinking about the elements, particularly the ones we're working on, really tapping into all of the things, right? We've got the grounding through the legs, and one more time. And then lifting up. You have the option to just hold here or reach back. We got a nice opening happening here through the hips, stabilizing through that fire center of the core, our will to stay for just a couple more breaths. The swinging, the lightness, tapping into that air element. And go ahead and release back down. And then that surrender into the sweetness as you take the knees apart, soften down towards the earth, surrendering here into child's pose. Walking the hands over to the left, option to stack right hand on top of left. Come on back to center. Take a breath, center. And then starting to walk back up. All right, moving into some lunging. So you can use your blocks at the front of your mat for extra support. If you use blocks, placing them here. Actually, Penny, I'll put you in the front. There we go. So they can be flat or up depending on how you feel, or you can have your hands just on the mat. And then bringing the right foot forward between the hands, sliding left knee back. Just feeling your way into the left side hip flexors. The spine nice and long, strong through the belly, pelvic floor muscles lift. And beginning to move into rocking half split. You're going to shift the hips back as you straighten out the right leg. And then return to the lunge position, and you're just moving back and forth, just flowing back and forth. And to move into any tightness that you're feeling in the hamstrings on the right side. And with this gentle dynamic movement, it's like massaging out that tension. At least that's what I like to tell myself. All right, the next time that you come into the extended position, stay. Press your hand firmly, left hand firmly into the block or the ground. Try to keep the right hip dropping down. In fact, take your right hand to your right hip and just gently press it down as you rotate through the right shoulder. You're rotating to the right. And you have the option to keep your hand right on the hip, or you could lift it up towards the sky. Try to keep the right hip dropping down. Breathe in. As you exhale, the right hand down. Return to your lunge. And then walking the right hands to the right thigh. So now you're a little bit more upright, lifting up to the pelvic floor. Try not to do this. Instead, pull back and up so you're getting strength here in the lower abdominals. Reaching the arms up. Big breath in. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center and you're going to rotate to the right. And just do that a couple times. Come back to center on inhalation. On exhalation, rotate to the right. Inhaling center. Exhale, rotate. And one more time, and this time you're going to stay rotated. And you have the option to hook the right elbow, the left elbow outside the right knee. For a deeper center, breathe in. As you exhale, hands come down and press into the hands, draw the belly in and up to shift the hips slowly back, bringing the right knee back, and take time in child's pose. If you have blocks, hands can stay there or they can rest on the ground. Rising back up to hands and knees and preparing for the left side. Bringing the left foot forward between the blocks, sliding the right knee back, and just stay. So here the hips sink a little bit more, but you're still strong through lower abdominals. And a nice big stretch through right side hip flexors. And we let the breath flow. You can use the Ujjayi breathing to stay tapped into that energy of the throat. Very calming. And we're now beginning to move into the rocking half split. Dynamic half split as you shift back and come forward. So you're just moving through those two ranges of motion. This really helps with mobility. And then of course, loosening up left side hamstrings as you flow through. Next time that you come to extension, stay. Really scoop the belly in and up and press into the right palm. Bring left hand to left hip. And just encourage the left hip to stay down. So when your hamstrings are tight and this part of the hip is tight, you want to lift up to get away from sensation. See if you can get that to drop down, even just a little bit. Rotating so that the chest opens now, left side pectoral. You can stay right here with the hand on the hip, or you can reach up. If you reach up, try to encourage the left hip to stay dropping down. Big inhale. And then bringing the hand back down, nice and easy, bending at the knee. And then pressing yourself up. You can use your hands at the thigh, but now you're lifting up and away so that the hips are stacking over the back knee. And reach the arms up. Draw up strongly through the muscles of the pelvic floor, lower abdominals. And then take a big breath in. As you exhale, hands come to heart. Inhaling, and as you exhale, rotate to the left. So you're just going to do that a few times, loosening there the attachments at the ribs, and to get some more mobility in the spine. And the next time that you rotate, stay, and you just hold here, or you come forward, getting a little bit deeper as you hook right elbow outside left knee. Rotating back to center as you breathe in, and the hands come down. And here's where you get really strong through pelvic floor and press into the hands. The hips start to shift back, and then bringing the foot back. And here's your supported child's pose. Taking the hips back, the knees can be together or wide, and then shifting so that the forehead melts down to the ground. Hands can be on the ground or blocked. Starting to walk yourself back up. And then coming into table position. So from your tabletop, really strong through the arms, extending the right leg back. Good. You're gonna take a few more of those swings. And this time I'm gonna offer you the option to extend the left arm forward. That's just an option if you wanna work more on balance, inhaling and exhaling, sweeping out to the side. Good. Do that one more time. And when you're out to the side, stay. Plant the right foot down, reach up through the left arm. So we're going to take a variation of thread the needle here. Breathing in and then sliding left arm underneath. Left temple comes down to the ground. Keep the right hand on the ground, pressing into the palm so the right elbow points up. Or you absolutely could reach up here, depending on how you're feeling. For a little extra stability, you can lift the left fingers as well and press into the left elbow. And if you want to get really funky, bring the index finger and thumbs together on both hands for a concentration mudra. Got to concentrate here so you don't fall over. Breathing in, a nice fun twist, really working on stretching out also right inner thigh. Breathe in, and then slowly, if you've lifted, come back down, pressing into the right palm and coming back to center. And once you're centered, just shift a little side to side. You can circle through the hips or anything that feels good for releasing. And now come back to your strong tabletop, pressing back through the left foot. Now the lift of the right arm is optional, so you decide. Breathing in, and as you exhale, sweeping out to the side. Just swinging through a few times. Should feel a little bit nicer this time, a little bit more loose. Do that one more time. And the next time that you come out to the side, you're going to bring the left foot down and reach the right arm up. Breathe in. And as you exhale, you're sweeping underneath and bringing right temple to the mat. Pressing into the left palm to rotate. And choosing this more grounded position, or if you want to work on a little more lightness in the pose, extending up through the left hand. If you want to tap into that more mystical element, you can lift the right hand off of the ground and take the mudra, joining index finger and thumb. And softening back down now, pressing into the left palm, slide on through, bringing the knees together, and any natural movement. Maybe you'd like to try circling around through the ribs this time, or anything that feels good. All right, from here, you're going to be moving into the downward facing puppy. So taking puppy pose, walking the hands forward. This should feel really good now for lengthening both sides of the waist, freeing the spine. Walking yourself back up to tabletop, and you're going to take a cleansing breath, cleansing lion's breath. Breathing in. Exhale, stick the tongue out, make some noise. So for the next round, you have the choice, either downward facing puppy or downward facing dog. So choosing which one sounds best for your body this morning. If you're taking dog pose, the hips lift up and back, and you can pedal out through the feet a little bit. We've already done some good joint loosening. So maybe the ankles and the knees feel more free already, but just take as much dynamic movement as you need. And when you're ready, settle into center and stillness, pressing into the roots of the fingers, knees softly bent, belly draws in and up. If you're in puppy pose, anytime that you're ready to rest in child's pose, feel free to do that. If you're in downward facing dog, straighten out the left leg and then lift the right leg, point the toes to the sky. Really getting that good extension. And then bend at your right knee, and this might be enough. Gives you a good stretch into quadriceps. If you want to add in some hip and inner thigh, rotate the pelvis. Point the knee up towards the sky. Shoulders stay square to the front of the mat. Rotate back to center. Extend the leg, breathe in. Foot to the ground, knees to the ground, child's pose. Option to sweep the arms forward or back, or even stack the hands, which gives you a little higher lift for the head. Might feel good. Rising back up to tabletop, choosing downward facing puppy or downward facing dog for the left side. If you're taking dog pose, walk the hands forward, press into the roots of the fingers, lift the hips up and back. And if you're in puppy pose, just take the appropriate length, keeping the knees on the ground. If you need dynamic movement, you're certainly welcome to take that, or be in your stillness, belly draws in and out. And dropping the right heel down to the ground so the leg is straight, and lifting the left toes up. So you're getting a really nice stretch in the calf of the right leg, and then you're getting that length and strength in the left leg. Bending at the left knee, and maybe you stay here, just enjoying that stretch in the front of the left leg. If you want to get into the hip, rotate the pelvis, spin the knee to the sky, now inner thigh, pelvis is opening, quadriceps opening, hip opening. Rotate back to center, and then extend the leg really long, breathe in, lowering the foot down, the knees down, and taking child's pose. Any variation that you like. If you're feeling a little bit of stuff in the triceps after that longer hold in down dog, you could bring the elbows to the ground, thumbs to the back of the skull. Also another very lovely pose for tapping into the ether element as you feel that reverence of the hands in prayer and the stimulation gently there at the back of the neck. Bringing the hands down to the ground, rise on up. We're going to revisit that quadricep stretch, pressing back through the right leg, bending at the knee, and you can stay right here, or you can reach back, and maybe you go a little bigger this time. Toe to the sky, opening through the chest, really pressing into the right palm, right arm is straight and strong. Breathing in, and lowering right knee down to the ground. You're going to spin the right shin off of your mat like a kickstand and extend out through the left leg as you reach left hand up to the sky. Roll the right shoulder back, that arm stays strong. And then sweeping the arm out and overhead. Feel free to take that mudra again if you like. Thumb and index finger together. And then you can inhale and reach up. Exhale, sweep forward for a little bit of dynamic movement. And you can really feel that opening in between the ribs. And sweeping the left hand back up, breathe in, palm to the ground, left knee drops. Take a moment. If you need to rest in child's pose, or if your wrists are feeling a little much, then you can turn the fingers gently towards you. Just take a little side to side. So just resting between sides. Any way that you like, you could point the fingers towards each other. That opposite position for the wrists. When you feel ready, planting the hands and extending back to the left leg. Really press the ground away as you bend the knee. Stay really strong in the left arm as you reach back and catch the foot or the ankle. And remember, the modification could be reaching back or even just this with the hands on the ground. So if you have the space to go a little deeper, lift the toe, you're using those backside muscles to lift up. Breathing in. As you exhale, lowering down. Spin the left shin back, extend the right leg out, coming into this variation of side plank. Reach the arm out and overhead, option for the mudra. And then if you like that dynamic movement, the inhale, you reach up, and the exhale, overhead. And the next time that you reach up, stay, breathe in, and hand comes down to the ground. Now you're going to come and sit in hero's pose. So if you need extra support, grab your block. So you're either sitting back on your heels like this, or you use some support. The feet separate, the knees stay together, and you sit on the block. So you want to make sure and protect your knees. There's no reason to strain there because you have things that you can use to support yourself. And then we're just going to rotate through the wrists. That's a longer sequence today on hands and knees. So now just giving a little bit of love to the wrists as you circle in one direction and then the other. And then you can interlace the fingers and push the palms forward. On your inhale, reach the arms up. On your exhale, press forward, but also round back like cat stretch. And you're just gonna flow through. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhale, rounding back. One more time, reaching up. Let's feel that big stretch for the wrists, and as you exhale, sweep the hands down, and you can rest the hands so that they have the opposite. We're bending like this, so now let the weight of the arms press down towards the ground, so you're feeling an opposite stretch here in the wrists. And you can turn the fingers towards you. And you're not pressing, you're just letting the weight of the arms, that gentle stretch to the wrists. And now also, let's give some love to the wings, these little wings here that we're working really hard in the dog poses. So you're gonna hook your right elbow at the left elbow, pulling across, and let the left shoulder really settle down into its socket. So you don't wanna be up like this. Let that drop down and giving that nice stretch to the muscles that attach behind the shoulder blade. And releasing the hands back down for a moment. And then taking the opposite side, right arm comes across, hooking the left elbow, drop the right shoulder down, just feeling that nice stretch there, up and behind the shoulder blade. Releasing and bringing the hands to the lap, palms facing up. Just checking back in with your Ujjayi breathing. Feeling that gentle sensation at the throat. Palms opening to the sky, a gesture of receptivity. Feeling yourself a little bit more balanced in this moment. Energy flowing through all of the spaces of the body. Gently balancing all of the elements so that you can be in equanimity. The body always wants to move to a place of homeostasis. If we just set up the right conditions, it knows exactly what to do. Reach the right arm up and bring the fingertips back to the shoulder blade. Then you're going to wrap the left arm around your waist. So you're not grabbing for hands, you're just having the left arm right at the waist. Then you're going to gently start to reach the right elbow over to the left. So it's not a big movement. You're just side bending a little bit here. It should also feel very good at the shoulder blade and the right side waist. Good. Slowly return upright. Extend the right arm up. Wiggle the fingers. Right arm comes down, left hand, and both hands on the lap, palms facing up. And extending up through the left arm, really feeling that reach, and bringing the left fingertips to the shoulder blade. And you're going to wrap the right arm now at the waist. So make sure that you keep that right there at the waist. There's just a right angle at the elbow. And then once you have that set up, you're going to gently tip over towards the right, so you're getting a side stretch through the left. And returning back to an upright position, reaching up through the left hand, wiggle the fingers. And that hand sweeps down. And then unwinding one more time, palms facing up, breathing in smoothly in and out. And I'll come up and off of the sits bones. And you can gently extend back through the right leg, just rock through the heel so it looks like this, just to release any pressure behind the knees after that longer sit in hero's pose. Gently moving back through one heel and then the other. And then you're going to swing your legs to the side so you can come lying on your back. So once you are on the back, you're setting up for bridge pose. Heels come in close to the bottom. And arms are alongside. So you got a lot of really nice shoulder opening today. So if you press down into your feet, lift your hips nice and high. Walking the shoulders under the back. Interlace your fingers. And then walk under again. Press and lift the hips nice and high up to the sky. Feel the activation in the backs of your legs, opening across the chest. It also gives you a really nice stretch in the back of your neck, and you feel the chin naturally tucks down towards the chest, but you don't want to push it down. You want to lift the chest and meet the chin. So feel that strength and openness all together. And then separating the hands, slowly lower yourself down. Take the feet as wide as your mat and let the knees drop together. Just a resting position. And separating the knees, come back into position for bridge pose. And take just a moment to listen. So remember, you always have the option to do the restorative variation of bridge, supported bridge with a block or a bolster under your sacrum. So don't be afraid to take that. You can also take the variation that we just worked on, the full bridge with the arms underneath the back, interlacing fingers. And I'm going to be offering one addition if it feels appropriate for you, which is to lift one foot and then the other, kind of tapping into that idea of the lightness and trying to find that float. So it's not as muscular as you would think. It's more of a floating sensation. So let's give it a try. Lift the hips up, walk the shoulders underneath the back, interlace your fingers, and then walk under again. Now you're going to come up onto the balls of your feet and walk the left foot back a little bit, then drop the heel back down. If that feels too pinchy, just leave that up. And you're going to press really strongly and try to lift the right foot up off the ground. This is optional, obviously. If you want to play in with that element of lightness, you have a couple variations you could work on. And then bringing the right foot down if you lifted it. And then do the same thing on the opposite side. Never forcing, only if that feels right and appropriate for you today. Releasing back down if you lifted. Lift the hips high on the balls of the feet. Separate the hands. And then very slowly returning back down. Taking the feet as wide as your mat and dropping the knees together. No, no, no. Of course, my neighbor decided to mow right when we started to get into the relaxing part of the yoga. Calm down, Penny. Calm down. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, no bark. I'm gonna have to go inside. No, no. All right. So we're moving now into a Penny. No, no. We're moving into a stretch that I don't think I've ever offered to you before. So it feels really good. Just listen to the instructions. You're going to bring the right knee into the belly. And now drop the left knee. Penny, you're going to have to move so you can see. Drop your left knee down to the ground. Already that feels like a really great release for the IT band on the left side. And you're getting a release for the hip flexors on the right side. If you want to go a little bit deeper, just bring your right hand down and try to hold onto your right foot. And that will give a deeper stretch to the left side IT band. Don't strain to get there. So you could always just have the knee drop into the side. Go ahead and release if you're holding the left foot. Bringing the left foot back to point up towards the sky, and then bring the left knee into the joint. Nice big hug, Apanasana, squeezing the knees into the belly, rock a little side to side. And if you did the touch of the left foot, you can feel that gets all the way up into the hip. Keep the left knee hugged in, drop the right foot down to the ground. Just hugging in left knee. And now just drop, kind of like Baddha Konasana, just drop the right knee out to the side. Just stay there for a moment, seeing how that feels. If you're liking that sensation, reach down with the left hand. So you got to wiggle the foot a little closer. And then you could hold the top of the left foot. And that's going to deepen that stretching sensation on the outer right thigh now. Don't strain ever to get into these poses. It's not a forcing. It's very gentle, and you should be able to soften the right knee down towards the ground. If you're holding the right foot, let it go. Bring the sole of the right foot back to the ground. And then bring the right knee in to meet the left. chest hugging in, nice little compression there at the low belly. And see if you can breathe into the lower part of your body. Just using all of your breath in the pelvis to inflate hips. And from here, you're going to move into happy baby pose. Honey, shush it. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet up to the sky, reaching for back of the knees, calves, ankles, whatever you can hold on to. And then beginning to gently rock side to side. Just enjoying that final release for the hips. Lower back. Coming back to center, and then bringing the knees in. So just bringing the knees so they shift in towards the belly, wrapping the arms again for Apanasana. Now take the arms out to the side with the palms facing down. Stacking the knees over the hips, flex your feet. Breathing in. As you exhale, bring the knees over to the left, but hover 1 inch off the ground. And you can use the hands on the floor or the ground to kind of hold. You want the right shoulder to stay down. Just tapping one more time into the fire center. This also helps to release the lower back. And then let the knees come all the way down. Turn the palms to face up, surrendering. Head can turn to the right. Final twist. Turn your head, bring your head back to center, bring knees back to center, and hugging in. Rock a little or circle the knees. And bringing the arms out to the sides, palms facing down. Stack the knees over the hips, flex your feet. Take a breath in, and this time you're going over to the right and hover. Make sure your left shoulder stays on the ground. So if you need to grip with your fingers, do that. Feeling that heat in the center, squeezing, contracting abdominal organs. Nice little massage for your liver there. And releasing the knees down to the ground, turn the palms to face up, surrendering into this gentle spinal twist. Soften across chest and shoulders. If the head turns to the left, you get that good release and neck and throat. Turn your head, bring the head back to center, bring the knees back to center. One more time, knees hug into the belly. Big squeeze, breathe in. Exhale out to the mouth. Stretching the legs. And setting up for Shavasana. So you want to get settled in for your final relaxation. Make sure that you support as needed. So you might need something under the knees, under the head. Because I have quite a bit of noise here in the background, I'm going to be muting the sound for Shavasana, possibly. And You are going to settle in completely, surrender body, mind, and breath. Let the breath slow down. Let the body release fully from its effort. Move towards a state of undoing. So for everything that you worked hard on, everything that you did in class today, now you're going in the opposite direction, unwinding, undoing, no effort. Breath continues to slow down, taking your time to rest. And slowly beginning to return awareness to body and breath. Feeling that heavy release of body into the earth, connecting to that grounding, stabilizing element of earth energy. That soft release in the hips and the pelvis, gentle energy circulating there. Tapping into that flowing water element, passion, joy, pleasure. In the open space of the belly, solar plexus, that fire that gently burns there. You burn for something, you have the ability to go the extra mile to get that done. Element of fire, transformational, rising up. Open space across the chest, breath gently flowing through. Element is air. Light and free, joyous, spacious, opening to love. That soft sensation of breath in the throat, softening of jaw and face. That sweetness of the element of ether, light and sweet and free, rising up to connect to that higher source. All elements balanced in harmony, working together for optimal radiance and health. Take a deeper breath in now. Exhale, sighing out. Breathing in. Sighing out. Making some movements now. So you're coming back into the body fully. Fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles circling to get blood flowing again. Maybe some stretching, moving, wiggling in any way to wake yourself back up. And then bending at the knees and rolling to a side. And gently taking some time to release there in that side lying position. Softening into self. And then returning to strength as you press palms into the ground and use your arms, strong arms, to rise up to sit. And once you're seated, feel the sitting bones rooting down and the spine floating free as the crown of the head reaches towards the sky. We'll take a breath in together. Exhale, sigh it out. Breathing in. Sighing out. Inhaling to our Om. That sound resonating from the throat. Feel the energy rising up, expansive, opening to the space that is above. And bring hands together at heart center. Take a moment of gratitude for this practice that brings us to this peace, this equanimity, balance, everything moving towards harmony, body, mind, and spirit. Namaste. All right, guys, thank you so much. Sorry for the loud sound in the background. but hopefully you're able to find some quiet during Shavasana. So great to see you all. We're heading up to 87 degrees here today in true Michigan fashion. And I think the lake, who's talking?
I just said enjoy that.
Oh, yes. And then I think the lake is flat, or at least it was this morning. So I think I'm going to head over there with the paddleboard.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good day for it. So enjoy your day wherever you are in the world.
So you'll be next week? You'll be
Okay.
here next
Yes. Yep. We'll be here next week. I was looking ahead at the weather and once the weather kind of stabilizes, I'll probably start to do class at Rocky Gap, which is an overlook over the lake. So depending on whether we get a good signal or not, it might not be possible to do the class live, but I will certainly record and have that on YouTube. So we'll see how that all works out, but it's looking like we're going back to the 60s next week. So who knows? Michigan is just, as we know, is crazy all the way around. So yeah, we're just waiting to see what happens. But for today, I will be at the lake.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
We got lots of activity in the Possum Palace. They didn't eat very many. They don't really like the strawberries so much. I'm just going to leave this because I got to redo the recording now.